Nina Pachoke, dead at 27. The WOW news anchor dies by suicide as Channel 9 pays tribute to its up and coming star. And the interesting thing about this, and kind of like why I wanted to cover this, is that from what it seemed like she had pretty much everything going well in her life, and yet still went down a path of ending everything. So let's get into it. Nina Pachoke, I think that's how you pronounce it, 27, which is super young, a University of South Florida graduate and morning news anchor, died suddenly on Saturday, leaving her family, colleagues, and viewers devastated. Her death came as a shock, with WOW Channel 9 saying everyone at the station is absolutely devastated. Nina loved this community and the people who lived here. She was a kind person with a big heart and a contagious smile, and we will miss her greatly, the station wrote. We ask you to please keep her family in your thoughts at this time as we all cope with the loss. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, please reach out. Now, what I wonder personally, right? I don't personally understand why someone would do this. Like, actually do it. Like, I can understand someone thinking about doing it, but it's hard for me to really understand someone actually doing it. Especially if your life, for the most part, is going okay. It's like, do you feel so alone that you think that there's no other route for you to take, right? Because what gets me is the finality of this choice, right? Like this choice is like that's it, the end, right? You're choosing to end it. But why? Why are you choosing to end it? What is causing you to think that that is the only choice that you got? So Caitlin Pachoke, Nina's younger sister, told the Tampa Bay Times that Nina was the happiest person I thought I knew. Sometimes you just don't know what people are going through, no matter how much you think you know someone, Caitlin told the outlet. And Nina was a former collegiate basketball player for the University of South Florida, and she graduated in 2017 according to her LinkedIn profile. The morning news anchor for WOW Channel 9 in Wausau, Wisconsin, was also engaged to be married, Caitlin shared with the Times. She was just like a little ball of sunshine, and her smile was massive, Caitlin added. And she could just make you feel like you were the most important person, whether she knew you for 5 minutes or her whole life. We would be out at a coffee and someone would recognize her, and she would lighten them up the way she's made me feel the last 27 years. My sister had access to every resource you could imagine. She was loved by everybody. She was so good at her job, Caitlin continued. She just radiated love and positivity, and she just cared so much about pouring into other people and always put other people first. I think she did that at the expense of not caring about herself. And this is the thing. Like, I mean, this is kind of like a clear sign of someone who, like, literally just does not put any value on themselves at all, right? Like you could clearly see that she's doing literally everything for everyone else but her. Wow Channel 9 has asked viewers to share their favorite memories of the young news anchor on social media. The station's Facebook post has racked up hundreds of comments from Nina's colleagues and fans, with many sharing their heartbreak over hearing the news of her passing. Nina welcomed me to the community and to the News 9 family without hesitation during one of the hardest times of my life. There are no words to describe how much we love her and how much we will miss her every single day, one of her colleagues wrote. Nina made every person she met feel like they mattered. She was a great coworker and an even more amazing friend. We will miss you deeply, another colleague shared. And one viewer wrote, so shocked to hear this news. Nina was our favorite news anchor. She was such a ray of sunshine. Our deepest condolences to her family, coworkers, and everyone that knew her. Rip Nina. Another commented, "We loved her in the mornings to start our day. So incredibly sorry for her family and wow family and friends. Keeping you all in prayer for comfort and strength. We will miss her greatly. She was like a family member." A third shared, "My husband and I were shocked and so saddened by the news of Nina's passing. She was just a ray of light with her sweet smile and personality. She was definitely the perfect addition to our favorite morning news crew." Caitlin also commented on the post, thanking Nina's fans and colleagues alike for the tributes and writing. "As her sister, I have read every single one and love to see everyone she impacted. My sister was the most incredible person in this world, and I am shattered. I know she loved her job and loved every one of her viewers. Thank you." And of course, they put basically, if you or someone you know is affected by any of the issues raised in this story, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273 8255 or text Crisis Text Line at 741-741. So, I mean, feel free to give your thoughts on this. Because again, personally, I never understood the finality of making this choice, right? Because you go through life and you're able to make mistakes or bad choices, but as long as you're not dead, you can keep on going, right? You can try again. You can try to get better. You can try to become a better person, all that kind of stuff, right? You can always try to do your best next time. But making that finality of a choice by literally ending it, I mean, like, I feel like there has to be something that pushes someone to that extent, right? She might have been dealing with a very serious mental health issue, maybe had a mental break, possibly, but I feel like there must have been something that just snapped, that like basically just pushed her over the ledge, right? Where she just couldn't handle it anymore. Where because the thing is, to get into that type of mental state where ending it all is the most viable choice for you in that state of mind, things have to be pretty crazy at that point, right? Your situation, what you're dealing with, has to be pretty crazy at that point to end up going down that route. Because for that to be the best choice in your mind is not good, obviously. But if you've ever dealt with this, feel free to give your thoughts about this. Maybe you have more insight on this, right? Because I think a lot of people have potentially thought about doing something like this at least one point in their life, but quickly moved on from it. Like maybe someone was like super depressed. It's like, oh, maybe it'd just be easier if, you weren't there, that kind of thing. But again, to actually make the decision to end it all is such an extreme decision. Like you're basically, once you make this choice and commit to it, there's no going back. Like you can't go back. So feel free to give your thoughts. I just thought this would be something interesting to kind of cover. And the thing is, like, how do you even prevent someone from potentially doing this, right? Because if someone has like a life that seems to be doing extremely well, where it seems like you're making probably good money. If you're a news anchor, you're probably making good money. You're about to get married, right? You have family and friends that love you. You have coworkers that like you. You literally have fans, right? It's like everything seems to be doing extremely well in almost every aspect of your life. And yet that's still not enough for you. You're still not content with your life. You're still not content with yourself. Like, it's such an extreme decision, and to think so little of your own life. seems kind of crazy to me, right? I mean, like, if you are someone who's thought about doing this before, I mean, try to love yourself a little bit better, you know? Try to view yourself in a little bit better light. Maybe just do one good thing today or one thing a little bit better today or tomorrow and be like, hey, I just achieved something just to make yourself feel a little bit better because like I feel like a lot of people need to love themselves just a tiny bit more so that people don't end up going down this route.